Well, folks, a little update from the homestead there. You know, these guys, these little chicks here that we have out there, the bigger ones are about 2.5 weeks old. The smaller ones are about 1.5 weeks old. And not really bigger and smaller, but there's a few small sex link in there, like that little one right there, that are about 1.5 weeks, and the other ones are 2.5 weeks old. So they're too young really to be out here without a brooding hen to look after them, but they are not too old to be out here throughout the day. So we built them basically this little chicken tractor. You can see I got their food and water hanging back in there, and this is their first day out, and they've been out here for about 5 minutes, and they instantly have very little interest in their food. They're exploring, they're scratching, and we'll be going more to a movable fence system as they grow up, with paddock shift, and returning them to a coop at night. I was going to do a mobile coop, but I've got such a beautiful building setting off on the pasture that's really just so perfect for a coop. I just need to put a floor in it. I decided that's what I'm going to do. I want to show you what we've got here, though, how I built this. Real basic, framed out of stud lumber because it's cheap, and it'll last plenty long enough, honestly. And 1/4-inch hardware cloth, because that way I can use it for chicks, I can use it for quail. I have a couple screens up there because the sun's up pretty high today, and I want to give them some additional shade. But you can see what I'm using for the top are just a couple pallets, and these aren't attached, these are just set on there, but they're good heavy oak pallets. And if you build one of these and use the stud lumber, it's not 8 foot, it's 7.6, and you leave the main runners the full length, and you put a couple supports in and one across the middle for center support you can hang your stuff from. When you get a 50-foot roll of hardware cloth, it will almost use it all. And you can see what I did there. Rather than cut it, I just folded the last piece of the end over and ran it about 1 foot past it. Well, it didn't seem to me worth saving 14 inches of hardware cloth and cut it, so I just folded it under so all the sharp edges are folded into a seam. And pretty simple. It's just basically a fenced-in box with an open bottom and an open top. But I like the idea of the pallets, because the pallets have these slats. They'll let sun in, but they'll give them quite a bit of shade as well. So I wouldn't leave them overnight in this thing, especially at their age. They really do need something to protect them from predators, and I'm sure a raccoon could figure out how to get in there. But for the daytime, we'll just move them between the brooder and here every day until they're big enough to be on their own. Let me get back so you can get a full-size view of the little chicken tractor. And this is actually my design for a quail tractor. It's going to have 3 areas: shaded, cooped, and wide open. So once it's done being a chick tractor, it will become a quail tractor down the road. We'll check in with you soon with some more updates.